Dana, this book is hotter than July. You should have put right here from a diva. This is lanyap. You know what lanyap is? Something extra. I love this book. I read it. It is beautiful. The lessons that you give not only apply to young women, older women, senior women, mature women, but some of you men can take a lesson or two. Dana, I love the story about your grandpa. Tell me a little bit more about your grandpa, and then I'm going to get out your way, because on page 149, you said, get out of your way. This is a hot book, baby. I'm sending it to my students, okay? Thank you for writing this. Everything will be okay. Tell us about Grandpa Perino, because I wish I could have met him.
Woman. I mean, that was pretty good. Thank you so much. Well, I appreciate everybody here on this channel, and especially behind the scenes, from the team here on the 5 to the America's Newsroom team, and then the executives, everybody. Like books like this take a lot of people, and I appreciate everybody's support very much, and that you read it. Thank you so much. But my grandfather was a rancher. He was a Marine veteran, and when I look back, I really do think he was the biggest influence on my life. And one of the reasons I say that is because it was really about learning from observing him in terms of the character that he exhibited and his joy of life as well. And I know that he wouldn't want me to have been so hard on myself. I write about how I think I worried away a lot of my 20s, and I don't want young women to do that anymore. So I have some practical advice in there. I agree. A lot of the advice is good for anybody in the workplace, and hopefully some dads, granddads are going to read it or give it to their daughters.
So what you're saying is that behind every woman is a very strong man.
Yes, as to coin a phrase.
Oh, Lordy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also talk about my dad, who, when I was in 3rd grade, he made me read the Rocky Mountain News and the Denver Post every night before dinner. So I think that helped as well along the way.
Dana, I like how in the title of your book, you basically baked in a prompt for people to say, oh, Dana, you are still young.
See?
That was very clever of
See
you
what
to
I
do
did
that.
there?
Yes, that was, I recognize that. I also have a bone to pick with you.
Oh.
And I texted you about this. You did an appearance on the Today Show this morning to promote the book. And they introduced you as co-host of America's Newsroom. And they did not introduce you as co-host of The 5. And you didn't even correct them. You didn't even say, hey, also co-host The 5.
This segment is over.
It seems like we should get top billing.
This segment is over.
I was so nervous.
I saw that.
I didn't know what to do. Obviously, The 5's been a huge part of my life. This audience has been a big part of my life. Supported all of us through our projects and our my 3 books now. Yes, I know. Co-host of The 5. That has been a big part of my life for 10 years. Longest I've ever held a job, by the way.
Hey, so I want to congratulate you. You're #1 on Amazon, but what's more important is that you're #1 in women's studies. So you beat out Women Who Run with the Wolves, which is quite an accomplishment. There are a lot of people on that list, but it's women's studies. Do you ever think that you would champion women's studies, Dana?
So this afternoon, Peter calls back, you're #1. I said, really? And he said, yes. I said, in what? And he said, women's studies. I'm like, no, Peter, call me when it climbs up the general list, which I'm glad that it did.
Dana, the one piece of advice that I, needed about 30 some odd years ago, accept the drink they offer, then pour it in the first plant you see, in terms of networking advice.
Yeah, my grandfather used to do that. He was a county commissioner, and he didn't drink alcohol, or at least didn't enjoy it much. And he said that he saw too many people make mistakes when they were at networking events and office parties. You know, my rule for everybody in this book is if you go to an office event, 1 drink maximum. I know that sounds really boring, but I promise you it'll help you in the future if you want a promotion or a raise or a new opportunity. Don't drink. Donna, what was the page 149?
Page 1, you talked about getting out of your own way. You had this problem after somebody criticized you on social media, and you just finally say, get out your own way. Just go ahead and continue to move forward. I also like the last one of the last chapters on Pay It Forward. And by the way, Greg, I teach at Georgetown, the Women and Gender Studies, and this is a great book for both my male and female students.
Well, you know what? What's great? What's also great is because yesterday was International Women's Day. Dana has decided to donate 50,000 of these books Just stop by and you can they're free. They're absolutely free.
Yeah, I'm gonna donate that through the class that you volunteer to teach on Saturdays.
Oh yes, but I'm not really volunteering to train. I'm going to that class.
Oh, I see. Hey, thanks everybody. Thank you so much.
Can I say something serious though? Just really quickly, Dana, I just want to thank you for all the women who work here. You've touched so many people's lives and given people such support behind the scenes. And I can name many of us that you're always there in good times and bad. And I would never get a chance to say that on the air. But thank you from all of us.
We have an amazing family here at the channel, and I'm really grateful to be a part of it. Thank you.